The entire world's economy is about to be reset, ladies and gentlemen. For the first time in history, what is going to be happening is that the fiat currency, which means it's worthless money, is going to be backed by gold. And the price of gold is going to go up phenomenally. What I am now saying is no longer being discussed as a theory. What is being spoken about is how high the gold prices are going to go. You, as the general public, do not need to miss out on this golden opportunity. Why has the Central Federal Reserve banks all over the world, why have they been printing so much money into the economy to the point where the dollar, the pound, and the various other currencies have lost up to 95% of their purchasing value? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it has lost 95% of its purchasing value. What does that mean for the bankers and the people that have been quietly in the background, with the media not reporting it, with the media withholding that information? What and why have they been holding the gold reserves? They have been holding the gold reserves because when you back up worthless pieces of notes called the Federal Reserve Bank notes, the gold price will shoot up from, at this moment as I'm speaking, it stands at $1,500 per troy ounce. We are expecting it to go up to 3,000, 4,000. And how high it will go up is just theoretical, insofar as the amount of fiat currency that is in the economy will determine how high the gold price is going to go up by. Previously, under Tier 3 article, banks were penalized for holding gold, but secretly, behind the scenes, they changed it to Tier 1. And when they changed it to a Tier 1, it meant that gold is now a sound investment. But the general public did not hear about it. And under the Basel III agreement, they have now sanctioned it and it's passed. As a result, as I speak now, just in one day, the price of gold has gone up by $100. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make it very clear to you. If you do not participate in this economy, you will be left out. It is the easiest thing in the world for you guys out there to get your head out of your butt and go and do something about it. You may well ask, why have they withheld this information? Well, the information is very simple. Your governments, believe it or not, like the banks, like the Federal Reserve banks, are private banks. And you folks out there are also private, and they believe that you are competition. So if the news was to get out, what is going to happen is that the gold price is going to go up because there's going to be competition for that. You folks understand that. So let me give you an example. When Trump said to you that he's going to build a great wall between Mexico and the US, well, that's a big fat lie. Why is it a lie? Because under the NAFTA agreement, Mexico, Canada, and US will have no trade barriers, which means it's open borders. But if the general public heard about that, you are now going to be in direct competition. The general public is going to be in direct competition with Washington, D.C., City of London, and all those big corporations, including that private bank known as the Federal Reserve. When Ron Paul quizzed then the head of the Federal Reserve, Bernanke, what did he discuss? He discussed about, is gold considered money? And the information that come out of his mouth is so convoluted, he talked the general public out of not buying the gold. So you stop this video right now. I've put the link at the bottom of the description box for you to view that Ron Paul quizzing of Bernanke and you decide what it means. What he's saying to you is that he's withholding the information about Basel III. He's holding the information about Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 in the banking infrastructure. So you folks out there that are the direct competition to Washington, D.C., City of London, and all of those city-states, do not participate in this economy. They are also hoping, ladies and gentlemen, they are seriously hoping that you will get this information so late. By that time, the price of gold is taken off. And when you, the working class person, the working class woman, get into that economy, what is going to happen is that the gold price is going to go up even further. And by the time that you have entered that gold market, it's already probably at 2,000, 3,000. Thereby, you have missed out almost 50% of that increase. Ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna have to do something. Do something, but don't be idle. I also released the information just under a year ago that the gold price was going to go up. And I did that on the back of a public information broadcast. Now, I'm able to interpret these things because I can see the rise and the falls of these patterns. What is going to happen to the stock market? Since the stock market is backed by fiat currency, where do you think that stock market, which is hyperinflated by the market makers, what has been happening is that the corporations, as well as the big individuals out there, have been borrowing their fiat currency to artificially keep the stock market high. When that fiat currency can no longer pay for the stock market, which is hyperinflated, which is a bubble that's about to burst, where do you think the fiat currency backing the stock market is going to go? What do you think that's going to happen to your pensions? Because your pension funds are investing in the stock market. Do you think the stock market, which is empty, hyperinflated, is going to keep on going up when you have a brand new currency in the world called gold backed? You know, folks, when you have a single bar running through your currency value note, that means it's fiat. When you have a double bar running through that pound sign, that dollar sign, you know that pound sign is backed by gold. You are seeing the evidence of it right before your eyes. This world, ladies and gentlemen, works on the geometrical level playing field. There is not a single reason that you need to be disabled with this type of information that I'm giving you. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be holding a webinar on this subject on the 8th of March, 10 p.m., which is UK time, and you folks are welcome. I only have space for 250 people, and my mentees take first seat, and so do my students. So if you want in, you better get in right now. In addition to that, this information will be packaged with all the supporting evidence, with how the markets move and so on and so forth, and handed over to those people that participated, and those people that was unable to come onto the webinar, they will have that as a webinar recording so they don't miss out. I'm making it very clear to you, ladies and gentlemen, you don't need to work the 50, the 60, the 70-hour weeks. The currency in your pocket has so little value that you have to take out loans because the Federal Reserve wants you to take out those loans. If somebody is paying you with a currency that has lost 95% of its value, what is that doing to your life? It is disabling you, and you cannot allow yourself to be disabled. Now, there is another opportunity sitting on the table for you guys. What happens is the mining stocks, and there are very few mines that produce gold. Most of the mines do not produce any gold. They are purely speculative mines, which means it's only theoretical. I will be sharing with you folks some of the mining companies which I believe is going to shoot up in value. Why do I do that? Because the mining shares that will mine the gold will go up much further than the gold itself. And I'll be sharing that information. I only teach first-hand knowledge. So if I haven't done it, I ain't teaching it. So as a result, I'll be teaching you some of the mining stocks that I have invested in. Now, I have already bought my gold and they are safe all over the country. Why? Because that's globalism, ladies and gentlemen. It is one planet, one globe, one language, one faith, one oceans. And it is time for you folks out there to become one in participating in that economy.